Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Baher Fuad, and the subject today is a plan for the future. We talked before about sources of strength and weakness in American Muslims, and today is a plan for the future, what we need to do. First is to continue doing what we have been successful at, which is opening Islamic centers that cater for the needs of the Muslim community regarding prayer, education of adults and children, social activities, funeral services, getting together, knowing one another, and all of these activities. In addition, it is important to have an Islamic school where children learn both state-required curriculum as well as studies in the Quran, the Sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him, Islamic history, culture, and tradition. And they work with, interact, and learn from one another in a safe and caring environment. And this is where the next generation of American Muslims and leaders will emerge from. Also, it is important to utilize our expertise and talent. Some of us are good at giving talks, and it is important that we prepare them to give talks and lectures about our Islamic faith, and to go to churches, synagogues, schools, colleges, universities, and do this and inform them about the true nature of our Islam. In addition, it is important to have some amongst us organize and form personal contacts with the news media and be aware of what is going on and respond and inform and write articles and talk about our Islam, the Quran, the Sunnah, and clear misconceptions, and be proactive, not respond to crisis. In addition, it is important to work with academia and to be on the board of universities and to establish chairs of Islamic studies and to endow these chairs. In Cincinnati, we have an endowed chair at Xavier University, as well as an endowed chair at the University of Cincinnati, filled by highly qualified Muslims who have made a difference in spreading useful knowledge about Islam. In addition, it is important to have political action committees where Muslims are well informed about the candidates running for office. They meet them, they ask them questions, they interact with them, and the number of Muslims is growing, and strength is in number and in unity. And then we will have a seat at the table before laws are enacted or candidates are elected. In addition, it is important to work with other social organizations that do good work that benefit the whole community and be on the board of these social organizations and have good relationship with non-Muslims in our community, those in positions of power and who have influence, and build bridges between us and them. In addition, it is important also to work together, to learn how to cooperate and work together despite differences of opinion. We are doing the work for the sake of Allah, not for praise or personal glorification or to be in power or in charge. And this work is not easy and is hard, but it requires a mentality that is able to listen, to pay attention to a different point of view, to some person expressing himself or herself, and to come to a consensus and to seek consultation before any decision is made, because this is what the Quran is telling us to do. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. But you have to seek input and consultation before making a decision. Now, some Muslims coming from Muslim countries come with held roots or beliefs that are deeply entrenched, and they believe that this is the only way that faith is applied, and therefore they are very uneasy and uncomfortable in listening or agreeing to a different interpretation. But it must be done, because our faith cannot be static. It has to be dynamic and responds to different challenges. Muslim scholars debated among themselves. They respected their differences, and they never said that my opinion is the only correct opinion. And if new information came to them, they changed the rulings. So Islam is a dynamic faith that responds to change, and it is important to have this understanding and mentality that we want to learn and understand and apply new knowledge. The Quran tells us, كتاب أنزلناه إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياته وليتذكر أولو الألباب. This is a book full of blessing that we send to you in order that they may reflect and consider its verses, and that people of understanding may be reminded. Also, وأنزلنا إليك الذكر لتبين للناس ما نزل إليهم ولعلهم يتفكرون. We send down this Quran to you in order that you may explain it to them and that they may reflect on it. So, and also the Quran tells us to work together. وَقُلْ اعْمَلُوا فَسَيَرَى اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ وَرَسُولُهُ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Say, work righteous deeds. Allah and His Messenger and the believers are going to witness what you do. Surah At-Tawbah, chapter 9, the Quran. So all of these are encouraging us to use our minds, not to close it. Some look at the hadith of the Prophet in an incorrect way. وَكُلُّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ وَكُلُّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. Every innovation is a misguidance, and every misguidance is in hellfire. They do not differentiate between an evil, harmful innovation in religion and an innovation that is good and useful and helpful and will spread useful knowledge and show us how to apply our basic principles or the basic principles of our faith in the situation we are encountering now. Muslim scholars lived in a different time, and they wrote rulings regarding the situation that they encountered. If they were alive today, they will definitely would have come with different rulings to suit the changing situation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His wisdom told us that there are no more prophets after Prophet Muhammad and no more Quran after this Quran, which came to complete previous divine revelation. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. الآية في سورة المائدة. Today I have completed your religion for you, perfected your religion for you, completed my favors over you, and chosen Islam as your faith. How can that be unless our Islam is dynamic and able to respond to current problems and current situations? This clash of ideology between rigid thinking and liberal thinking will continue and is inevitable. People do not want to say that this is an American Islam or a European Islam, but it is a different way of thinking, and it is incumbent on us to use our minds and not close our minds. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه وادعوه إنه سميع قريب مجيب الدعاء.